And recording. So I took a brief hiatus. I was having some equipment issues, but I think everything's been resolved now and my setup is updated. That being said, I am now in the mood for some sweet Swedish black metal. And with that in mind, I wanted to go back to some Watain. Watain? I always forget how to pronounce it. And the next song on my list here is called Stellarvore, which is an interesting title name. Vor makes me think of like carnivore, so like an eater, and then stellar stars, so like star eater maybe. But I'm just spitballing. I have the lyric video here, and this is about an 8-minute song. So pretty much every song by them that I've heard has just been like a banger. It's been something that I've really enjoyed. So I'm imagining this is going to be more of the same. So I'm going to just jump right into it. Go! It was a cool intro. That section right there sounded really cool. I like the intro, how it worked almost like a summoning spell. I think how it hit the 4 points of the compass, like it was summoning things or asking the north, the west, the south, and the east to bring forth this god of death, apparently. So it, judging from the lyrics, it is like a star eater or a light eater, and you're just kind of equating death with darkness. So yeah, like this sounds really cool. Thematically, this is really cool, and I've always enjoyed the presentation of just bathing glow of red light and fire on stage, and even just that little like not chapel, but right in front of the drum kit, it looks like the main singer has like a little iconography there. What's the word I'm looking for? A little shrine almost. But yeah, this is really cool. And that little section there with the drum beat, boom, boom, where he's just like really chant friendly kind of thing. God of death. Like so far, there's hasn't been anything too like extravagant happening. The guitar riff is pretty basic, but it sounds cool as shit. And you have some blast beats going in the background to sort of up the tempo. But yeah, yeah. Let me back this up just a smidge and get that God of Death piece in again. God of Doom. Move at the across the universe. Let us pass throughout the labyrinth of trembling stars. Like that rhythm. Triangular victory flames, each and all. Wonder ancient dragon across the cursed heavens. Behold how swallow the world. Let them have the very essence of creation. The burning mouth of Samael, your soul shall be reborn. Why the king now in his final hour? From its origin darkness, a new kingdom shall ascend, erected on the pillars of the ever-burning underworld. Can't you see the twisted branches of the tree of death, rising now, the putrid doom at the center of the world? Ooh, that section right there. Excuse me. I'm just salivating for how juicy and sweet that section was. That sounded really nice. As far as the lyrics go, I'm trying to follow along. So, an ancient dragon, but he called it Samael with its burning mouth. So, like an angel as a dragon is an interesting kind of visual. Because Samael obviously is Lucifer. That's the morning star, his original name, because he was the light bringer. And now he's eating suns, so he's getting rid of light. So I guess if he's fallen, it's opposite day, and he's now doing the opposite of his duties were originally, I guess. But that's like an interesting kind of thought process of looking at angels as dragons. Huh. Hmm. And I know that's probably not exactly what he's trying to say, but yeah, it's interesting because when he said ancient dragons and beasts and tentacles and stuff in the sky, it makes me think more of like H.P. Lovecraft, or even like the Hellboy kind of stuff, the Mike Mignola, where there's the seven ancient ones like trapped in stone in like the farther reaches of space before God and all that stuff. Yeah, I'm starting to prattle off into some other stuff. Let me back this up a smidge and go. Breakdown. Drop beat. That just looks so cool. Yeah, like visually, this is just so cool. And then I like during that big sort of epic sound that they have at the end there, how you just hear the drums and then the just guitar strings kind of just ringing out as he's picking out a little melody with some dissonance there. So, yeah, yeah, it's really cool. Like even just the premise of it, it makes me think of there's an old comic, The Sandman, where like literally the first issue, it's a guy who tries to summon the concept of dream and just kind of entraps him in like a glass case because he thinks it's gonna give him power. Except the sort of breath of mortal and like God is so big that the concept, the God's just kind of like, what is this? I'm not gonna do anything, and it just sort of waits him out until he gets old and dies, and then just escapes. But that's neither here nor there. Just the concept of like summoning something that's so much bigger than you. It's like, why would it listen to you? And even if it comes, what makes you think it's going to do the thing that you want it to do? Like, what the hubris of man to think that they can have power over something elemental like that. eh, it's just an interesting kind of like thought experiment, I think. But like thematically, it's cool that you're kind of like worshiping the tree of death as opposed to the tree of life, um, and just kind of viewing the dark side of nature in that way and just trying to live in that. I don't know. I'm starting to ramble. The music was awesome. The music was awesome. Like I said earlier, it didn't get too like up its own ass. Like it didn't do like a complicated solo or anything. There was three or four different repeated sections that just sounded really good together. Uh, Guitar work was nice, fast picking, but it wasn't exploring the fretboard too much. Like it was like really basic melodies, but just played really quickly, and it sounded so cool. Yeah, like even just the progressions were nice and dark, and again that big sort of bombacious piece where it ended, I liked that it went into like a dissonant kind of sound with the melody being played on like yeah, just like open strings it sounded like. So the kind of dissonance in the playing and in the thought to summon something, yeah, that kind of just fits really well together, I think. Either way, like I enjoyed the hell out of this. This is one of those bands where like just the presentation and the presence like is something like it's really entrancing, and like you can't help but look and listen like an oddity, but at the same time it hits something kind of primal within you so that you can connect with it. So yeah, really really cool, and they're quickly becoming one of my favorite bands, and I desperately want to see them live. I think I saw a video of them from like 2018 in one of my prior reactions, so I'm assuming they're still like a touring band. And once the world opens back up, hopefully they'll be able to play out here again. So yeah, they're on my list to see.